Yeah, I think the kind of what I was saying before, one of the primary differences is you have to constantly be aware of, your own body when you're on camera. And that might sound really simple, and for some people, I'm sure it really is. But I just listened to this interview with Seth Meyers from SNL out here, and now he hosts a late night show. But he was talking about how kind of like forgets what to do with his hands when he's on camera, and I'm very much the same way. Like when I'm on camera, all of a sudden, for some reason, I'm like, what do I do with my hands? Like, do I ever put them in my pockets? Do I like, is it okay to cross my arms? So I catch myself asking kind of silly questions of the director, like, does it look weird if I cross my arms? I think that's one of the biggest differences, coming from the booth, where you can do whatever you need or want to get the voice and find the character, as long as it isn't interfering with the audio or the other actors and stuff. But then you get on camera, and suddenly, like I said, everything you're doing is getting picked up. So if your left hand is like, if your hand is twitching or something like that, someone's going to come up to you and be like, just so you know, Jake, your left hand is twitching a lot. So I think that's one of the biggest differences.
I kind of do get that kind of constantly aware of everything that you're doing when someone's looking at you. Yeah, that'll probably be the biggest thing I'd say as well. My second question is, what's your favorite Pokemon?
One of my favorite things about Pokemon is that it's something that I actually was a part of and was partaking in when I was watching a lot more cartoons. So that was really enjoyable for me to get to become a part of that entity. I can remember having Pokemon figures and Pokeballs and going to vending machines and getting things like that. So it's very, very, very rewarding and exciting to be able to become a part of the Pokemon team, and to be actually working on something that, as I said, I consumed as a consumer prior to that. So that's in some ways it feels like a really closing a circuit in some ways. Like I'm becoming a part of something that I love, and that was just really, really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was kind of that kind of kid as well. I collected everything Pokemon except for the cards. My mother wouldn't let me. Too expensive. My final question is, who is your favorite actor?
Oh, that's an awesome question. That's so difficult. I love actors that are chameleons. They're the people that there are many, many, many great actors that do a thing and do it amazingly, and I envy that. I envy someone's ability to, I'm just using this as an example, but someone who plays the superhero or the lead guy, someone who just has that and can do that. I think it's really remarkable, and I'm envious of that. But actors who are kind of character actors that blur and bend and really transform are some of my favorites. Somebody who's a little, or at least I think is a little mercurial and interesting and picks fascinating roles and has been in some of my favorite movies is Guy Pearce. I really enjoy almost everything he's done, and I think that, the projects, if you look at his IMDb page, it's just astounding. It's the types of roles that he's done and worked on, and the, going from one side of acting to the other, it's fascinating, and like I said, there's always something about him when I'm watching. I feel like he's got a secret all the time, or like there's something mysterious about every one of his characters, even when he's just supposed to be a straightforward whatever. So I find him incredibly engaging, and I have a ton of respect for him and for his, his canon of work, his body of work.
So that's all of my questions. Thank you very much for answering.
We do have some from our Facebook page as well, from our Pokemon fans. The first is from Kelly Byrne, who says, how does it feel to be a part of a great show like Pokemon?
Oh man, it is really, really, really cool. I think I kind of said that before. As you can tell, I'm kind of into it. It feels like coming home, I guess. Like I said, to be a part of something that you were already a fan of. It's a real blessing. And to be playing a role that I think is kind of, I don't want to, Professor Sycamore, but I think he's a super original type for a show that's got such a storied history as Pokemon. Professor Sycamore, I think he's super original. Like I said, his dimensions of being like not only cool and interesting, but also like a very approachable and a type of mentor. I really, really love his place within the show and within the kind of history of the show. So yeah, like to be a part of something this established and this cool, and to be working with the amazing people I'm working with on the show, it's man, going to work is great. It's one of those things where if it's on the schedule for the day, like that's a great day.
Definitely. And next question is from Tommy Papas, who says, how did you first hear about the job, and did you know about Pokemon prior to auditioning?
Oh, yeah. I knew about the show. You know, I'm kind of, I'm into cartoons, you know what I mean, and I'm into animation and stuff like that. Like, I was a fan of anime. You know, I was kind of leaned on, you know, Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing and things like that. And then, you know, transitioned from that into Trigun and, you know, Fooly Cooly and like all these sorts of things. So I was kind of in touch with the animation world. And so I knew that Pokemon was being done out here. And I kind of, like I said, from working in some other studios, I knew some of the folks that were on it. And they were my friends, and I was working on other shows with them when XY was coming out, and they had, you know, some of these new characters from the Kalos region. I was just very, very, very happy to get invited to come audition for Professor Sycamore, who, like I said, as soon as he popped up on screen, I legitimately felt a connection. I was like, that's a cool guy, and I think I know what he's like.
Yeah, definitely. We have a question from the live chat from Sir Like This, who actually is asking the question Maureen was trying to ask earlier, which, what is your favorite Pokemon?
Yeah. I think that I would have to say that, oh man, I'm torn. I'm torn between Charizard, because I just always had a soft spot for Charizard. I think Charizard is hands down the cutest Pokemon. Like, and I don't mean to offend other Pokemon, but I've just always been a fan of Charizard. I can't even really describe why. I just think he's the cutest. And the things that he evolves into, I think that too is kind of like one of the things that I liked about him. It's like you know where he's going if you level him up. And then the one I'm torn between is like I said, Charizard or Meowth. Because again, the fact that Meowth can talk, at least, you know, the particular one with Team Rocket, that is, I think that's just like a really, really, really amazing and fun facet of that particular Meowth. You know, the fact that he talks. You know, he makes you do a double take every time. You're like, that's a Pokemon that's just talking.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty rare right there, and still Team Rocket is trying to get rare Pokemon. Team Rocket's logic. I guess that's why we love them.
Yeah, exactly. They're the best. They're the lovable bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all of our questions to you, Jake. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm a huge fan of the podcast genre, and I really like what you guys are doing with everything Geek. Yeah, absolutely. I've put a couple episodes of a podcast out there with my company, mentioning it before, Stagnation Production. So we have a couple episodes out there of a podcast that's kind of rambling about the entertainment industry a little bit, and kind of just some joking around. But I'm a huge fan of the medium, and it really meant a lot to me that you guys asked me to be on. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, and hopefully we can talk to you again at some point.
Absolutely. Maybe once the game drops or something like that, we'll reconnect and we'll talk about it. I'll give a teaser. It's let's just see here. Well, I'll say it's a military game, so it'll be very different than you know, the type of stuff that we're doing on Pokemon and stuff like that. The characters are a little different.
Nice, very nice. Yeah. So hopefully I'll talk to you soon then. Bye. Yeah, that was a great interview we had with Jake Paque. So make sure to check out our YouTube channels. The podcast is www.youtube.com/user/everythinggeekcast. Mine is www.youtube.com/user/Stephanus Mine is www.youtube.com/user/Lizzie11. Check out Jake Paque's website, jakepaque.com. And